Okay, today's video we're going to be installing our remote access and our DHCP for our server. This will allow the clients to access the internet through the domain controller. So as you can see, we have our server started up here. So we're going to go to the server manager. So we'll go up here and we'll click server manager. We'll let that open up, close that. Okay, so we're going to go to add roles and features. Okay, we're going to hit next. Next again, and next again. And we are going to select remote access. Give this a minute to start. Remote access. Okay. We're going to hit next again. We'll hit next. And then we are going to select routing. And we're going to put add feature. And that top box will automatically add itself. That's fine. So we're going to go to next again. And then we are going to go to install. We're going to let this install. And when it's done, we'll come back. Okay, now that that has finished installing, we'll go ahead and hit close. And then this next part, a lot of times we have to restart the server. So I'm going to go ahead and just restart it to make it easier. So I'll go down and click restart, hit continue, and we're going to restart this. Okay, now that we've restarted, we're going to go up here to tools. We're going to go to routing and remote access. We're going to come up, we're going to right click on our server here. We're going to go to configure and enable routing and remote access. We're going to go to next. We're going to select our network address translation or NAT. Click that next. And we're going to hit next again. Now you see there's two Ethernet connections here. So we have one that has the address of 10.0.2.15. So if we go over here and we right click on our network settings and we go down to our adapter options, we'll see we have two adapter options. We have Ethernet and Ethernet 2. If we right click on Ethernet, we'll see that that is the one that is connected to the internet. And Ethernet 2, it has no network access. So we want to select Ethernet, and then we want to hit next again, and then we want to hit finish. And that'll reset. We'll close out these other screens. Okay, and then we can close that. And now we've set up our remote access. Now the next thing we want to do is set up our DHC server. So to do that, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to add roles and features, and we're going to go to next again. Same thing, we're going to go here. Now we're going to go down here. We're going to select DHC server, and we're going to hit add that feature. And then we're going to go through the screens again. And finally, we're going to restart, or I'm sorry, install. We'll wait for that to install. Okay, now that that's finished installing, we'll hit close out of there. And now we're going to go up here to our tools. And we're going to go down to DHCP, and that'll open up this. Now we're going to go over here. Let's expand this to full size and bring the drop down here. Now, if we right click on IPv4 and we go down to new scope, and then we'll set the wizard here, and we'll give it a name. We'll say client scope, and we'll say next. Now we want to do our start IP addresses. Now, if you remember right, we selected 172.16.0, and then we want to give it a start. So we're going to say start at 100, and then we're going to go here to 172.16.0.200. Okay, and then we're going to give it a length of 255.255. Next. And this is if we want to put any exclusions in there. So any IP addresses in that range that we don't want to use, we're just going to hit next. And then we're going to set our lease duration. Now this is something that if you're running a real life server, you would want your deletion to be like an hour, 2 hours. But being that this is just a test lab, we could just leave it as long as we need to. And then go next. Now we want to set up the DNS server to be the address of, so we want a 172.16.1. Okay, so that's our DNS server address. We're going to hit add, and then we're going to hit next again. And then we're going to hit, we want the parent name to be oscore.com. That's correct. And then we're not really worried about wins. And then we want to activate the scope now. So we hit finish. Now you see both of these turn to a green check mark. They may be hard to see, but they turn to a green check mark. So now we've successfully installed our DCP server, and we've successfully installed remote access. In the next video, we'll get our client up and running, and we'll set up our client to connect to this domain controller. So that is all for this video. Thank you.